Now, I understand if you're a sound guy at a venue and you're dealing with different musicians all the time, some musicians are nice, some performers are great, some people are not so great. And this sound guy falls into that second category, and it wasn't that he wasn't a good sound guy. I wouldn't really be able to make that call because I'm just up on stage and the stage sounded great. But this guy was just not about it. And if you don't like doing this kind of work, why are you doing this kind of work? Like, seriously, this guy, like, he just looked like he didn't want to be there and had the attitude that I, like, couldn't grasp. So, played my set the first night, and at some point in the stage, during the night, one of the DJs was clearing off his equipment to let somebody else set on while I'm playing, and I think something got bumped, a crossfader or a gain knob or something, and the volume goes up, and then we brought it back down. The sound guy gets off of his stage rider, it gets off of his little stage island in the middle of the crowd, comes up on stage right next to me and gets in my face. Keep in mind, I'm like wearing my full suit and helmet, and he goes, "I will turn the PA off if you touch that EQ again." And I'm like, hey dude, I'm a DJ, half my job is that EQ. But sure enough, this guy, he's super mad, and I get it, maybe all the equipment physically belongs to him. It is attached by an umbilical cord, and he can feel everything that those speakers feel. I don't frickin' know. But he came up on stage and told the performer not to touch the controls that he's there to touch. But I let it slide. Whatever. It was in the middle of my set, so there wasn't like a whole lot of things that I could do about it. But I'm in my suit, you know, so like, that's my armor. That's my armor to protect me from all of the nonsense that happens during gigs. But then, the next day, I'm there at 10 p.m. setting up for our 11:30 start, like a responsible guy, and I'm there with the other DJs. I don't have my suit's backstage, like it's back, and I'm just sitting there with my backpack, taking out my equipment. Sound guy comes up on stage, and he goes, "All right, listen guys, I know you guys are DJs or whatever, but I don't want anybody touching that mixer, because I told this guy last night 3 times, and he kept messing with it. He kept boosting frequencies. Ironically, his name was DJ Cut, and he kept boosting." And I'm like, and I'm right there with my computer, like, hey man, you didn't tell me 3 times. You came up on stage and yelled at me once. And I've been doing this a long time, and I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to touch those knobs. And he was just, and then walked off. And the DJ who's like organizing the whole thing like comes up to me and goes like, hey man, the contractors, they lack a sort of grace. Sure enough, the guy ended up being cool after we it was weird. It was like he wanted to show off by being like, look how I don't care about that other guy. But as soon as I confronted him, I was like, you're right in front of me, dude. He ended up being the nicest guy for the rest of the night, and he stayed at the booth and he did a great job. It's so weird to me how some people need to be called out to just feel like they're part of something. Like, I have a huge respect for sound guys. I used to be a sound guy, and while I didn't do a ton of live stuff, I understand there's a lot of work and patience that you need to do that job. But why get so sassy? Why get so sassy? We're all there to work. And then later he goes up on the riser, and I say into the microphone when we're sound checking, I was like, hey dude, I'm not gonna touch any of those knobs tonight, don't you worry. And I meant it, you know, I was gonna stick on my controller and leave the sound check stuff exactly how it was. And he gets back on the mic, be like, it's nothing but love, man. And I just wanted to be like, you got a weird way of showing love, dude. I'm glad I'm not in your family.